The city's gone to sleep again. I'm the only fool still wide awake. Got a glass of something amber and a silence I can't shake. The lamp throws golden shadows across the leather of my chair. I've been sitting here for hours, talking to the empty air. There's no one left to call tonight, no number worth a dial. I've burned through every bridge I had with dignity and style. Smoking cognac at 2 a.m. This is where the strong men go to bend. Not to break, just bend a little low. Let the evening have what daylight couldn't know. Smoking cognac at 2 a.m. The only honest hour left for men. The ashtray's full of yesterday. The bottle's getting low. I've made my peace with being a man that most folks will never know. I don't need the crowd to love me, don't need the noise and lights. I need this glass, this silence, and these long, dark, quiet nights. The world out there keeps spinning fast. I let it spin alone. A man who's found his stillness has already found his home. Smoking cognac at 2 a.m. This is where the strong men go to bed. Not to break, just bend a little low. Let the evening have what daylight couldn't know. Smoking cognac at 2 a.m. The only honest hour left for me. I've sat at finer tables, I worn the finest thread, but nothing fits as honest as this quiet in my head. The cognac doesn't judge me, the smoke just drifts away. A man learns more at 2 a.m. than in the brightest day. Smoke and silence, 2 a.m. again. Just a glass, just a man, just the dark, my oldest friend. The signs are in a language that I never learned to speak. The rain comes down on cobblestones. I've been walking for a week. Not running, no, I finished running somewhere back in '09. Now I just move through foreign cities, searching for a self I left behind. Every city gives a man a different face to wear. I've worn so many I forget which one was ever really there. Midnight in a foreign city, Lord, it gets inside your bones. Beautiful and cold and pretty, the loneliest you've ever been alone. The lights reflect on wet black pavement. Every stranger has somewhere to be. Midnight in a foreign city is the truest place I've ever found for me. I've had drinks in 14 countries, slept in rooms with no names attached, sent no postcards, left no forwarding address for anything I've found or anything I've lacked. The bartender here doesn't know my story, just pours and nods and leads me to my glass. There's a mercy in the people who don't ask you, and the cities where you know one built to last. I tried to settle life once, maybe twice. The walls came in, the clocks ran slow. Some men are built for roots and staying, and some men are just built to go. Midnight in a foreign city, Lord, it gets inside your bones. Beautiful and cold and pretty, the loneliest you've ever been alone. The lights reflect on wet black pavement. Every stranger has somewhere to be. Midnight in a foreign city is the truest place I've ever found for me. There was a woman in Lisbon who asked me where I was from. I said from a long way back and further still to go. She laughed and said, you're like the harbor, always full and always empty. I kissed her hand and walked back to the coast. Some truths are only spoken by strangers in the rain, in cities you'll never find again.
Another city, another midnight, another glass, another version of myself that I leave here when the morning comes and I move on like I always do, like I was born to do.
Picked it out on a Tuesday morning, dark charcoal gray with a silk lapel. The tailor asked me what's the occasion. I smiled and said I couldn't tell. He measured twice around my shoulders, said you carry weight like an old stone wall. I said just make it fit for standing straight when they finally come to make the call. A man should meet whatever's coming with his collar pressed and his buttons straight. I ain't afraid of what is waiting, I'm just particular about how I face my fate. This is the last suit I'll ever need. Finest cloth for the final creed. I'll wear it standing, wear it proud. No tears allowed, no crying loud. The last suit, cut for dignity, tailored for eternity. When they lay me down in the dark cold ground, I'll be the best dressed man in the whole damn town. I worn suits for boardrooms and battles, for weddings, funerals and war. But every thread I ever put on was practice for this one I'm wearing now for. I kept it hung in the cedar closet, wrapped in linen, kept it clean, for the morning when the world stops calling and I step into the great unseen. My father wore his with brass buttons, my grandfather wore his without a word. The men in my blood always dress sharp for every last thing life preferred. This is the last suit I'll ever need. Finest cloth for the final creed. I'll wear it standing, wear it proud. No tears allowed, no crying loud. The last suit, cut for dignity, tailored for eternity. When they lay me down in the dark cold ground, I'll be the best dressed man in the whole damn town. Some men crumble, some men fall, but I intend to leave this world the same way I walked this halls. Oppressed and buttoned, eyes straight ahead and clear. The suit's already waiting, and I have nothing left to fear. Dark charcoal gray, silk lapel, cedar and silence, and a man who dressed well.
Hear the dogs out on the corner, making noise to 3:30, letting everybody know they're angry, letting everybody know they're free. But I've been watching from the window, ain't said a word, ain't made a sound. The ones who talk the loudest always are the ones that don't run this town. Power don't announce itself, it just walks through the door. The room gets quiet on its own, that's what silence is for. Wolves don't bark, they don't need to. Wolves don't bark, their presence speaks the truth. You never hear them till they're standing right beside you. Wolves don't bark, and neither do I. I've sat across from dangerous men in rooms with no recording eyes. The difference between the men and the broken ones was always found in who stayed quiet longest, who stayed wise. The loud man shows you all his cards, still man shows you nothing, friend. And when the hand is finally over, you know the difference at the end. I learned this from my silence, and my silence learned from time. The most commanding thing a man can do is take his time. Wolves don't bark, they don't need to. Wolves don't bark, their presence speaks the truth. You never hear them till they're standing right beside you. Wolves don't bark, and neither do I. Let them call me cold, let them call me stone, let them wonder what I'm thinking when I sit here all alone. I'm not cold, I'm deliberate. I'm not stoned, I'm still. There's a difference between empty and a man who bends to no one's way. The wolf doesn't prove himself, he doesn't need the room to know his name. He walks in, and a room already knows. And a room already knows. And a room already knows.
He said, why do you wear those in the summer heat? I said, some habits aren't about the weather. She looked at me the way a woman looks when she knows she's pulled a thread she shouldn't sever. I poured 2 glasses, kept my gloves on. She didn't ask a second time. There are rooms inside a man like me she'll never reach in her lifetime. I'm not a mystery for solving, darling. I'm a door with no key offered up. Some things aren't hidden, they're protected. And there's a difference you should know before you look.
Leather gloves
In July,
don't ask me
the reason why. Some men wear their armor different ways. I keep mine on through summer days.
leather gloves
In July, every scar beneath is mine. You get the gentleman you see, the rest of me was never city baked at 97, I walked slow through the afternoon. Every stranger saw a man of habit, nobody saw the rooms beneath the room. I've done things in the cold that needed doing, carried weight these hands should not have known. The gloves aren't fashion, darling, they're a covenant between the man I am and what I've sown. I'm not a wound you get to dress for me, I've long since closed what needed closing down. Some scars were kind of sovereignty, the leather's just the skyline of this town. Leather gloves in July, don't ask me the reason why. Some men wear their armor different ways, I keep mine on through summer days. Leather gloves in July, every scar beneath is mine. You get the gentleman you see, the rest of me was never free. She left in the late October, when the gloves finally made some sense. Said, I always thought you'd open up, but you built your walls from something more than fence. I watched her cab pull slowly down the avenue, lit a cigarette, pulled leather tight. Some men love like open country, I love like a city, beautiful and closed at night. 97 degrees, and I never took them off, not once, not for her, not for anyone. She called me by a name I borrowed from a man I used to know. I let her trace it on my shoulder in the blue hours before I'd go. She made that borrowed name feel holy, like it grew up from my bones. But names are just the clothes we carry when we can't afford to come back home. I wanted to tell her, Lord, I wanted to sit across that kitchen table and come clean. But men like me don't get that luxury of being fully known and fully seen. She never knew my real name, loved a man who wasn't quite the same as the one who woke up in the dark alone, knowing every road leads back to stone. She never knew my real name, and maybe that was mercy, not a shame, 'cause the man she loved was real enough to bleed. She just loved the version built for her to need.
Once in a city by the water, she'd make strong coffee, I'd pretend to stay. I'd memorize the way she laughed on Sundays, knowing I'd be gone by Tuesdays, some cold days. I left the way I always leave things, clean and quiet, nothing left behind, except the shape I pressed into her pillow and the borrowed name still living in her mind. I've carried real names like a loaded weapon, some things you don't hand to those you love. The kindest lie ever told was silence, and the cruelest truth, I was never enough. She never knew my real name. Loved a man who wasn't quite the same as the one who woke up in the dark alone, knowing every road leads back to stone. She never knew my real name, and maybe that was mercy, not a shame, 'cause the man she loved was real enough to bleed. She just loved the virgin built for her to need. Somewhere she still says it, that soft name over coffee. Tells her friends about a man with quiet eyes that disappeared one winter and left no explanation, just an empty space and half unanswered whys. And I carry that, Lord, I carry that, the weight of being loved and being false, the only cross a man like me deserves to bear, down these long and borrowed halls. She said it so gently, that name, like it was real, like I was real. Maybe for the